Hey, what's happening, peeps? I appreciate y'all tuning in to today's episode. I got another banger for y'all. Before we get too deep into content for today's episode, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend and tell a friend. I appreciate all the feedback I've been getting. Let me know what you guys want to hear more of, because I want to provide value that you guys can utilize going forward in your careers as well. So we did an episode previously. We talked about the people you want to try to avoid in the workplace, right? And so I think it's good for you to understand the dynamics of who you want to avoid. Now we're going to shift the gears to the opposite. I want to talk about the people that you want to network with, or you want to have in your network in the workplace, right? Because it's important for you to get these individuals in there, because this will help optimize and help further progress your career there as well. And so I've got six different character types, or people you want to hang around or be around or network with. So I'm going to go through each one of those, and then I got a few tips I'm going to give you at the end of the episode as well. So let's get started. So the first one I have, and it's kind of twofold on that. So you want to get with a veteran or younger person there as well. And I said or because it depends on where you are in your career. So if you're early in your career, just starting out, even if you're kind of maybe middle career, right, mid-career there as well, and you start working with the company, try to find the person who's been well tenured with the organization there. Or if you're younger, just get with someone who's actually got some work history or work career experience there, because they know things that you don't know that are not in the book, right, or not in the manual. There's learning the X and O's of how to process something, but then there's the experience of being able to understand how the pieces go together, or whatever you're trying to progress for in your career there as well. So I definitely would encourage you to try to get with someone who is a seasoned veteran, either in the working field of the industry that you're in, or in the company that you're in that aspect of it, because I think it'll help develop you at a faster rate. And if you are well established in your career, I would encourage you to actually try to network with some younger individuals, some people that are just starting out in their career there as well. And I'll give you that aspect of it because they have a different set of experience, right? If you're well, or a different mindset or different skills they've developed, right? So if you're well, advanced in your career, you may be disconnected from the manual or what's changed in terms of learning curriculum and that aspect of it. And just a younger age group is going to have a younger mindset or approach to thinking that you don't have, right? And so being able to connect with an audience that's younger than you is going to help keep you sharp. You have all this experience that you've had over your work career, but you're also getting this different group of people that can kind of talk to you or speak to you about what they learned and how they see the world as well. So definitely would encourage you to do both, right? So if you're well established, get with someone younger. If you're newly established, try to get with someone, older, veteran, if you will, in the actual job or role that you're in, industry specific there as well. So that was number one. Number two, I would encourage everyone, I think it's extremely important to try to find out who the top performer is when you're coming into the company or into the role or to the team, and get with them. Set some time up on the calendar. You essentially want to understand what they are doing that is making them so successful, right? And what you're essentially doing is taking that mold and being able to mold it to you as a person there. So you may not do exactly what they're doing. Sometimes, depending on the role, you may need to do the exact thing that they're doing if it's like a process or something specifically. But you want to understand what qualities, what traits, what things that they're doing that is yielding them the greatest success that they're experiencing there. And you want to use that information and apply it to your skills or your process to being able to have success as well. So I would highly encourage you to try to get with a top performer. A lot of times it's more common to see it if you're in a sales role. You can try to get with the top salesperson. But in other roles, you want to try to get with the all-star performer, right? It's a great person to be around, because they will help sharpen you in ways that you can't even see, and you won't recognize it until it's already done as well. So that's number two that I have. Top performer, I think, is very important. It's helped me tremendously in my career, and it's only helped me develop at a much faster pace than I say some of my peers or people that I've started in the industry with there as well. The third, kind of touched on it, but I want to make sure I hit it home on this one, right? You want to speak to someone who's a creative thinker in your industry, right? Someone who thinks about things a little bit outside of the box, or just from a different perspective there, because they will give you a different thought process, and make sure that you don't feel like your way is the only way of doing it, right? There may be a more efficient way to be able to accomplish something or create something, or something that nobody's thinking about. And a person who has a creative mindset is going to provide that insight to you, to help you, have the most success that you can. And so it's extremely important that you have someone who's a little bit of a, people will say free thinker, but I'll just say a creative mind. They just see things from a different vantage point than what you see, because we're not always right. The way we see it is not always correct. And so getting a different perspective is going to allow you to be able to step back for a moment and say, okay, let me see if this way maybe is a little bit more efficient than the way I've been doing it. So number three is a creative. I think, find that person, build with that person, network with that person as well. So number four, right? If you are new at the company, or, I would highly encourage you to try to build a rapport with someone that started with you, right? If there are people that are kind of in your hiring class, or people that started with you relatively newer to the organization, maybe not at the exact point in which you started when you got your hire, I got tongue tied, your hire date. But someone is just freshly in the actual organization as well. And it's really good because it helps you kind of build a friend, someone who's kind of going through or similar experience as you are. But it also helps you sharpen yourselves, right? You all kind of have a rapport. We started together. We're going to have success together. And so you can each kind of push each other to continue to progress in your career, in your role, personally, and, hopefully have a good friend, outside of the workforce as well. But definitely important for you to kind of build a rapport with someone that started with you. I think for me, it's been another one of those things I would say I've had a lot of success with. I have a lot of friends from that as well. It's translated over to my personal life. But these are people that are simply saying, hey, we're just making sure we're both succeeding and moving up in our careers together as well. So someone, you started with in the organization there. That was number four. Number five, and a lot of people don't think about this in the aspect of it, but I would say someone who you have works in an area that you have an interest in, right? Build with that person, find out information on them, because you are essentially building an ecosystem for success, right? And so I use that often when I talk about networking in terms of you creating the ecosystem. You can create a negative ecosystem that'll lead to your demise, or you can create one that'll lead to your prosperity. So finding out someone who works in an industry or in an area of the company that you have an interest in, make sure you reach out, connect with those people, build with those people. But I think it's important for you because it gives you some perspective to something new that's a little bit different, that'll hopefully help you understand where you are in your career and what skill sets you need to develop to be able to do that particular role there as well. So, and then number six I got here, because that was five. Number six I have here is just your manager, right? I think that it should be common knowledge, but you want to try to build a good rapport with your manager. Hopefully they are a high quality manager. They want to help you reach your full potential there as well. But you want to network with your manager because your manager is typically a person who has connections or reach well beyond what yours is. What I mean by that is they are meeting with you, but they're also typically meeting with other managers and other business units or other areas. And so if you have a good rapport with your manager, you can let them know what your aspirations are, and they can help direct you to what you need to do or where you need to go to be able to accomplish that. Also, they will vouch for you when you're trying to pursue other opportunities within the organization there as well. So definitely build rapport, build a relationship, network with your manager, build a positive relationship with your manager there as well. And so those are the 6 that I have. Just a few kind of notes or tips, I would say. The first one is just going to be, when you're thinking about these individuals there, think about, what do you want to learn or what do you want to know? And you want to be intentional about that, right? So if you are going to speak to a top performer, or you're speaking to someone who is a little bit of a creative thinker, or a veteran, if you will, in terms of their experience in the industry or the role itself, what do you want to learn? What do you want to know? You don't want to waste their time just having them teach you something that isn't of interest of you, or get information that doesn't provide you any value. So understand, what do you want to know? What do you want to learn from this individual or individuals that you're connecting with there as well. The second thing is, it's not just give, right? So the second piece I want you to think about is, what can you do that'll bring value to them, right? Is it something that you know, a skill set that you have, some information that you have, a perspective that you have? But it should be a give and take situation, right? You are giving something to them and they're giving something to you as well. It shouldn't just be you're taking information, right? And even if you're dealing with a top performer, a lot of times, top performers, from my experience, they'll ask for some feedback or perspective, just come with different thoughts to make sure they're sharp on the skills, or, they can get a different thought process on it. So I think it's important for you to just think about, not just what do you want to learn, but what can you bring, what value can you bring to that person there as well. The last thing I'm going to say is, do not be scared to make that initial outreach, right? You're building your career. And so you want to be intentional about what you're doing, and you can't wait for the top performer, the veteran, someone who you started with, to always come to you and make the outreach or make the connection there as well. Reach out to them. Reach out to them, introduce yourself, tell them a little bit about yourself. You'd like to set some time up with them, whatever the case may be. If you're in a setting and they're in the room, go talk to them. So don't wait, because time is not on your side, right? So be intentional. Don't be scared to reach out to that person and build that connection there as well. And if you look for these individuals and you have this individual in your network, or these individuals in your network, I promise you're essentially creating an ecosystem that's going to help you have success in the future there as well. So just another one to drop another episode on that, an opposite of what I previously dropped there as well. So again, hope you guys find value in it. I'm gonna keep dropping more content, so be on the lookout for that. And as always, if I'm lit and you lit, then we lit, so stay lit.